Phoenix has been a wise planner on water for many years. Despite 14 years of drought, our supplies remain strong. We've been innovative with agreements like the one we're talking about today, and working with our partners in California and Southern Nevada to find common ground on shortage scenarios. But there is still much more that we can do to prepare for the challenges of climate change and continuing drought. Making sure that we have a reliable water supply for Phoenix residents, of course, is one of our very highest priorities in the city of Phoenix. And we must be vigilant. We must be looking for ways to protect our water resources in a sustainable way in order for our city, our region, our state to grow and prosper. This is going to be a successful partnership, and I could not be more excited the opportunity to work even more closely with Mayor Rothschild. He and I worked together on numerous projects, including trade with Mexico, education, and many other things. And now we're taking that partnership to a whole new level. I know this partnership is going to be hugely successful, and it will lead to even larger scale, long-term programs that will include other water providers in the state of Arizona. So next to the podium to talk about the Tucson side of this partnership, this innovative agreement, is our friend Mayor Jonathan Rothschild of Tucson.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Good morning. Mayor Stanton and I very much believe in and have, since we've both taken office, in working cooperatively where we can benefit our two cities and our state. Mayor Stanton referenced it, but we have taken trips to Mexico together to explore mutually beneficial economic opportunities with our neighbors to the south. We've been at that for over 2.5 years now, and we believe we made a change in the attitudes and climate in this state with regard to that relationship. We've done so through the Arizona Mayor's Education Roundtable, something we continue to work on. Mayor Stanton will be coming to Tucson tomorrow to meet with mayors from around the state as we address some of our issues related to education. Principally, we've addressed issues relating to dropouts, and it's significant work. But today, we are building on this history of cooperation with a formal agreement on what is possibly and I believe, the most important issue to both our cities, a safe and secure water supply. And I can tell you that at the last City Council meeting of Tucson, we have approved this agreement, so we are simply awaiting Phoenix's signature on the paperwork to get it going. Tucson has long been a leader in groundwater recharge in Arizona. We currently take our full CAP allocation and store it in the ground. And what we're doing is giving ourselves a buffer against prolonged periods of drought, which, as I think everyone in the room knows, much of the West, Arizona included, is now experiencing. Mayor Stanton described generally how the program's going to work, and in this phase one, it's really a pretty simple program, but really an important concept of having cities work together on the issue of water. In phase one of the pilot program, up to 850 acre-feet of City of Phoenix CAP water would be stored in Tucson's well field, and we call it the SAVSARP facility. Now, SAVSARP stands for Southern Arizona Valley Storage and Recovery Project. Tucson's SAVSARP facility sits atop an ancient stream bed, which has provided for us ideal conditions for recharging large volumes of water. After phase one, and it's a 2-year program, the program will be reviewed in preparation for phase two. In that phase, SAVSARP could be expanded to store more of Phoenix CAP allocation, up to 40,000 acre-feet a year. In exchange for that, of course, we will provide for receiving the water our credits to the City of Phoenix. So in times of shortage, Tucson would give our CAP allocation, some of our CAP allocation to Phoenix, and take some of your allocation from water already stored at SAVSARP. Mayor Stanton has mentioned it, but I would be remiss not to mention it too in applauding both the city staff in Tucson and Phoenix for this creative approach to providing greater water security for our two cities. We know that in the city of Tucson we have a wonderful water department that is always creative on the cutting edge with conservation methods, with wheeling agreements and the like. And from everything I've heard from my staff, their working with the city of Phoenix has been just a very cooperative and constructive experience, and that's great to hear. You know, compared to reservoir storage, groundwater storage saves more water for use later, as far less is lost in evaporation. And a healthy water table, and Tucson's is actually rising at this point, helps avoid subsidence from overpumping. So these are really critical, simple concepts, but critical concepts for the future of our entire state. So I'm very pleased to be up here in Phoenix today to mark this occasion. I see it as another milestone in regional cooperation, and it is very helpful that we have a mayor in Phoenix who has reached out and worked regularly with Tucson, and I'm glad to do the same where both of ours can benefit, all of our citizens. And I look forward to more opportunities for our two cities to benefit from each other's strengths, resources, and expertise. And I'm waiting for that text message from Mayor Stanton this afternoon where he says his council has agreed to this, and the strength of both our cities will be improved. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rothschild. I would say I have a high level of confidence in today, but one of the lessons I've learned in politics is don't count on it until it's actually done. So I'll wait till that vote is done, and I will send you I'll tweet you. How's that? And thank you for your leadership, and I look forward to hanging out with you and your team down tomorrow in Tucson as we discuss education and education partnerships. Our leader on the city council on issues related to water, she puts in a huge amount of time, not only here at the city, but on regional efforts through the Arizona Municipal Water Users Association. She is the person on the council that speaks fluent water talk, the language of water, is our leader on water issues, Councilwoman Thelda Williams.
Thank you, Mayor. I really want to congratulate the two mayors. This is a unique opportunity and one that will be the first in Arizona. At AMWA, which is a consortium of cities in the valley, we have often talked and reviewed all the articles that's been in the media about the drought, potential water shortage, and where we were headed. And we know in the short term, we're fine, but if we want to really continue to grow and have economic development in this state, we have to have a guarantee to people coming into this state that the water is going to be here. And this is the mechanism that's setting that up, that's going to make it happen in the future. We know that 30 years from now, 40 if necessary, that water is still going to be there. It will be available to the residents, and Phoenix and Tucson could continue to prosper. So it's very exciting today. This is a first in Arizona, and I congratulate them and the staffs from both cities for working so hard to put this together. I know other cities are going to want to join in the future, but we're the leaders, and we're going to make it all happen. So thank you, mayors.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman. I should have mentioned earlier that the picture to my right, your left, is a picture of Lake Mead. It goes without saying that the white that you see on that picture is not good. And while we will continue to pray for heavy snow this winter and hope it happens, in the meantime, we're going to take action to support the residents of our respective cities in the state of Arizona. So increasing water table in Lake Mead is going to be an increasingly important policy priority for me and for this city council. I mentioned him earlier. This is important not just for water planning, but it's also a very important sustainability measure for this city as we engage in additional efforts on resiliency, climate resiliency, adaptation, climate change related issues. And our leader on sustainability is Councilman Bill Gates.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the opportunity to speak today. You know, I'm the type of person who likes a plan, and particularly when you're talking about something as important as water. As we live in the desert, I was very much encouraged to see that we're developing and expanding our plan as it relates to water. A couple things. One, as was mentioned earlier, there's been a lot of discussion in the media recently about the issue of long-term water supply, and that's a good thing, and that's a good discussion. Additionally, as the economy is starting to pick up, and as the mayor and others are going to other states and trying to recruit companies to come to Arizona, one of the first questions they ask is, do you guys have enough water? So for those two main reasons, I'm very excited to see this partnership today between Tucson and Phoenix, because it addresses very directly that concern about long-term water plans. It's one thing to talk about water, but it's another thing to act, and that's exactly what Phoenix and Tucson are doing. And that's because of the leadership both of Mayor Stanton and also the leadership of our leader on water issues, Thelda Williams. So I'm very proud to be a part of this. I thank Tucson, I thank staffs of both cities for this innovative partnership, and I see this as just the first step in further developing a very broad plan to address our long-term water needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Gates. I should have mentioned he's also chair of our Innovation Efficiency Committee, and this fits right in that sweet spot as well. I was remiss earlier not to mention another partner, colleague on the City Council, Councilman Jim Waring. Thank you for being here and being an active leader on these issues as well. And of course, he's humble, standing in the back, but our city manager, Ed Zerker. Thank you for hiring Catherine Sorensen, number one, and for bringing her leadership to the forefront. And that's exactly why we are here today. There's been a renewed realization by myself, Mayor Rothschild, the council members here present, that the role of cities is not just to make sure that we have water supplies for our citizens. We have a role on the issue of drought and planning for the future of drought. We have a unique role to protect our Colorado River rights and allotments. That is something that we can't offload to somebody else, although other people are working on that as well. But the realization of the role that cities should play in doing the right thing in light of these drought conditions, and doing the right thing that we protect long-term our interests, what our forefathers and foremothers protected for us, that's Colorado River allotment that we have, that we do right by future generations by doing all we can now to protect those water rights, that the cities have a unique role to play in that regard, and we need to step up to the plate and do it, and that's exactly what today is all about.